I'm Roger Sugarman, and I have the good fortune and privilege of being the president of the Board of Trustees of the Columbus Metropolitan Library. And on behalf of my colleagues on the board, I'd like to welcome you to this very, very special occasion. It's been more than a year since this building was closed to the public, but the transformation of Main Library has been many years in the making. I'd like to recognize the project professionals who have made this magnificent edifice possible, from Gunn Partnership and Schooley Caldwell Associates, as well as Turner Construction and our owner's representative, Pizzuti Companies. As you'll see in a few minutes, the design of the new Main Library is ambitious, innovative, and forward-thinking. And thanks to the construction team, the renovation was completed on time, on budget, and actually ahead of schedule. There really are a number, innumerable amount of community leaders with us today to mark this historic occasion for our city, and their names are listed in your program. You'll see many of them for the ribbon cutting, and we thank them all for being here. I guess I'd like to take just a moment to recognize one who's not with us, and that would be John F. Wolf, an incredible community leader. Our sympathies and condolences, obviously, to the entire Wolf family, but he and his family were just ardent supporters, both publicly and privately, of this Main Library, the entire library system, and we are most grateful for everything they've done throughout the years and know will continue in the future, so our thoughts are with them as well today. Before I introduce today's speaker, a small public service announcement, which is to remind you that you should have been given a confetti wand, and as you took your seat, and when you hear the drum roll, you'll know what to do with them, so don't forget. Today's speakers include community leaders and, first and foremost, our library leader, whose vision, guidance, and ardent passion for his role in our community, we would not be standing here without him, and that's Pat Lisinski, our CEO. As Pat will tell you, as his vision led us to create this, what is a grand civic space, but lest that name alone be misleading, there are books and books and books and books, and the library is as you remember it, but it will only be all the more better, I think, when you go in. And so if there's anything you remember today, it won't be probably our words, but I would encourage you to look around in wonder and awe as you go inside that building and look at the smiles and look at the eyes light up, especially among our younger members of the community who'll be inside there. And I think that you will see is what makes this such a remarkable occasion and such a remarkable place in our community. Our next speaker will be community leader Barbara Seamer of the Seamer Family Foundation. She'll share some thoughts on her role and her family's role in transforming this space through their generous support and commitment to creating great libraries. Congresswoman Joyce Beatty is here with us. Thank you, Congresswoman, for being here to mark this occasion. We're also extremely fortunate to hear from State Senator Charlita Taveras and State Representative Kristin Boggs. I don't know if one was a promotion or not, but thank you both for being here. And thank you and your colleagues who are here today from the Ohio General Assembly, without whom we would not be able to run this library. Many thanks to the City of Columbus, represented today in speaking by City Council President Zach Kline. I'd also like to thank the entire community for helping make today possible. The Columbus Metropolitan Library Foundation challenged the community to support the Great Libraries Create campaign to the tune of $100,000. Community champions Cordelia Westwater Robinson and Grant Morrow sweetened the deal and offered to match each dollar raised. And after an overwhelming response from the community, that $100,000 goal was reached in just 3 weeks. So inspired by that generosity of Cordy and Grant, as well as the community response, a second $100,000 challenge was issued, this time by current and former members of our foundation board. And that $100,000 grant remains open, and we hope that you will help us reach that second goal by contributing to the Great Libraries Create campaign, either online or by speaking with a staff member after the community. And that's the only plug of its kind today. The pivotal support of the community, however, is exactly what our campaign was about and is exactly why we're able to have this incredible resource in our community. I'd like to direct your attention briefly to the American flag, which was given to us at the library as a gift from U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown. It flew over the U.S. Capitol building earlier this year. In addition, we received a proclamation from U.S. Senator Rob Portman that was read on the floor of the U.S. Senate earlier this week. These are both fitting tributes because public libraries are among democracy's greatest gifts to its citizens. They are necessities in today's world, not luxuries. So please take special note of those gifts, as well as when you enter the main door to the library, look above you and see the words bolded there, open to all. That is what the library is all about. It's not just for a select few, it's for all to discover the treasures within. We are stewards of the legacy and philanthropy of Andrew Carnegie, whose $60 million gift helped build several thousand public libraries in towns and cities throughout the United States at the turn of the 20th century, including our own main library. And today, after 16 months of renovation, we're excited for all of you to discover inside and out what's old and what's new. So thank you again so much for being here to help mark this new beginning of your main library. And with that, I'd like to invite and introduce Columbus City Council President Zach Kline to say a few words.
How y'all doing? What a great day to be here. I'm Zach Kline, President of Columbus City Council, and I'm just honored to be at the grand opening of our beautiful new main library here in the city of Columbus. Thank you, Roger Sugarman and Pat Lazinski and all the library board who have helped us through this process. I'd like to recognize my colleagues on council. If they could stand to be recognized. I know that I saw Elizabeth Brown and Mitch Brown. Shannon Hardin was around here somewhere. Jiza Page, Michael Stinziano I know is here. President Pro Tem Priscilla Tyson. If you could join me in a round of applause for their leadership. There they are over here. And I don't know if he's still here, but a great federal leader now in the state of, or in federal government from the state of Ohio, and that's the Director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Rich Cordray, is here. Good friend of ours. This is Rocco, by the way, and I was debating whether I should bring Rocco, but I thought this is a library opening. And this is as much about kids as about anything. It's about access to opportunity and education. So it's my honor to be here to speak, and thank you for letting Rocco join and all the children so that we can go in and have an opportunity to make everyone have an equal access to education and learning opportunities. So thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Kristin Boggs. I am the state representative for Ohio's 18th House District, and I am so pleased to be here today to celebrate the opening of this fine library. I know that it will not only be a valuable community resource and an anchor to our downtown, but it will be here to serve the entire Central Ohio region. It will be a place where, no matter where you come from across the state, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, you will be welcome here to learn, explore, and gain knowledge. Many of you know that my love for libraries developed in high school when I was actually working at my local library branch. And there was this librarian there who used to say, if knowledge is power, then libraries are the world's greatest equalizer. So on behalf of the entire Franklin County delegation of the Ohio House of Representatives, we want to thank Columbus Metropolitan Library for your investment in the downtown branch, and thank the staff who will bring life to this library that will foster a learning environment, equality, and empowerment for all the people who come here. So thank you.
Hello, I'm State Senator Charlita Tavares, and I am truly honored to watch the transformation of this centerpiece of our downtown. As a native of Columbus, Ohio, I used to come to this library, so it's very exciting to see the transformation and to see this forward-thinking library system go from sending bookmobiles to our schools to them becoming homework and learning centers, and now life centers for all of the residents of Central Ohio. So I am proud of the library system, Pat Lazinski, Roger Sugarman, the board, the staff, but most importantly, I am proud of the residents of Central Ohio for believing in our library system, for passing levies to support our library system, and generously donating. This is our jewel in the city of Columbus, and we've got to learn how to express how much we support our library by coming regularly, by donating regularly, and certainly sharing it with the rest of the world. Congratulations and thank you.
Good afternoon, and what an honor it is for me to serve this 3rd Congressional District. I am Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, and it is good to be home and standing up and not sitting down. But let me just say to you, libraries are full of ideas and perhaps the most powerful weapon to all of us. So I say to you, Roger Sugarman, thank you for your board leadership. To my good friend, CEO, world-class leader of first-rate libraries, Pat, we come a long way since 1907. Let's give him a rousing applause. There are not enough words for me to stand here and say. So let me just say the most powerful 2 words I can say to this community, to all of the supporters and families and friends and volunteers and elected officials, thank you. Thank you for being here to witness another day in history of a national award-winning library. But let me tell you what I will do in joining my other colleagues. I will pledge to you, as I serve in the United States Congress, that I will continue to fight for federal funds and for innovative programs that will make sure that we continue to provide the grants and the services so our children, our grandchildren, those yet unborn, and those with earned gray hair like me can come to the library and learn and continue to help us have a better community. I can't think of any better words to end with than the words of First Lady Byrd when she said, as First Lady, perhaps no place in any community is so totally democratic as the town library. The only entrance requirement is interest. Thank you for having the interest in what we're doing today. And God bless you, and I will leave this congressional resolution with you, Pat. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Well, that's a hard act to follow. I hope you're taking a very good look at the beautiful image of the 20th century. But when you, in a very few minutes, walk through those doors, prepare yourselves to enter the 21st century. Things are changing, and this library has certainly risen to the challenge of changing with it. To succeed today, libraries have to master many different talents and roles in a community. You can't get anywhere unless you have a strong design, strong amenities, popular, efficient, effective programs. That's a lot to juggle. But when it all works together, libraries become places that anchor community life and bring people together. And one of the many, many strengths of this library, and indeed this community, is that it brings together a lot of sources of support: public, private, civic, individual. And I speak on the individual behalf of saying that this is probably one of the greatest investments that anyone could ever make in the community, in the lives of the community. So we set about finishing off a monumental campaign of $130 million needed to fund 10 different projects, some of which are built and open, and some of which will be coming online very, very quickly. But in this particular instance, private gifts become more important than ever. So you already heard about Cordy Robinson and Grant Morrow, to whom we owe many, many thanks for their initial challenge grant to kick off the campaign. And as Roger alluded to, now the Board of Trustees has staked another $100,000 to further the campaign. So we are hoping very much that in the next couple weeks, you will find it in your pockets to open them to a new challenge grant. If you make a contribution in the next few weeks, every dollar will be doubled. I always find it wonderful to put my hand in somebody else's pocket. It's fun, and I hope you'll think so too. So, Clara, Scarlett, this is for you. This is for every child in this community and in Central Ohio. This is what we have built for your generation, woohoo, for you and for every child, because this, Joyce is absolutely right, this is where everybody walks in equal, and that's the strength and the beauty of libraries. Give every bit of support you can. You can't place your money in a better place. Thanks.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's hot. I'm going to make it really quick. I'm Pat Lisinski, the CEO. It is an absolute privilege to be the CEO of your public library here in Columbus. A library system that on several occasions has been named the #1 urban library system in the United States, the 2010 National Library of the Year, the 2011 recipient of the National Medal in Washington, D.C. The group standing over here are the library staff. They are the ones who make it all possible. Give them a rousing round of applause. Put your hands up, folks, so they can see you, please. They've got orange lanyards. They are great. Our system has reached such renown that this August we have been awarded a conference to host, the World Library Information Congress. We are welcoming between 3,000 and 4,000 librarians from August 13th through the 19th from 143 countries. They are coming to see your investment on display, and it's quite an honor for our entire city. Andrew Carnegie's quote along these benches, and I'm glad it's hidden right now, because it was Andrew Carnegie who insisted with his gift that the words, "My treasures are within," be inscribed on the building. Well, I'm going to say today that our treasures for the community are outside. Our treasures are all of you, particularly the children who will come in and use all of these resources for years and years to come. When you are in the building for 5 minutes, you will begin to understand what our architects and our contractors and our owners rep have accomplished. They have not only made great library space, they have melded it with great civic space. So when you see the views back to the city, and particularly to Topiary Park, I can tell you that for years to come, this will be a must-see destination for many of your out-of-town visitors. But while the library will be a destination point, I really believe its greatest asset will be that it will be a point of departure for children, for their curiosity, for their learning, discovery, inspiration, and the eternal quest for information, knowledge, and wisdom. So many of you have been thanked. They're also on my list. I'm going to forego that and just say all of you who have contributed, big and small, our legislators, our city council members, our foundation, our library board members, our friends of the library, could you all join me in thanking all who have made this day possible? Our main library is again open to all, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to see it. At this time, we're going to do the ribbon cutting in 2 steps. And I am going to ask our Young Minds ribbon cutters to step forward to the center stair area. You won't miss them. They're in bright orange. And please do not release your confetti wands for this one. That's for the second ribbon cutting. After all, as some of our speakers have said, this is the generation that we have invested this library for. So I think we're going to get a brief drum roll, and I'm going to count down from 10. And when I get to 0, you will cut the ribbon. 10, 9, please join. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut the ribbon. Thanks, kids. We appreciate it very much. You kind of know that we don't do anything small at Columbus Metropolitan Library. We're going to invite our 90 ribbon cutters to step forward at this time. Okay, there will be some audience participation in this. When we actually cut the ribbon, we will ask you to release your confetti wands, but not before. All right, we're going to have a drum roll and a countdown from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut the ribbon! Ladies and gentlemen, and particularly children, welcome to your new main library, open to all.